Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, we would like to say thank you to the International Institute of Academic Research and Publications for giving us the opportunity to explain the topic of the research paper we applied for the International Conference on Economic, Business, Tourism, and Social Sciences, which will be held on 15 January 2022 virtually in Shanghai, China. Let us introduce ourselves. The first author is Miss Almanda Karenina. The co-authors are Miss Renatha, Deliana, Putri, and Mr. Stephen. Also, our corresponding author is Miss Margaretha Ohyver. We are researchers from Bina Nusantara University, especially in Statistics Department, School of Computer Science. Our topic is Analyze the Effect of Discount and Consumer Behavior towards Consumer Purchase Interest during COVID-19 pandemic using structural equation modeling. Before we continue to our topic explanation, we would like to show you our author's biography. Ms. Almanda Karenina is a researcher at the Statistics Department in Bina Nusantara University. Her past research was analyzed the influence of lifestyle and environmental factors on lung health using structural equation modeling. And her current research interests are multiple linear regressions, data mining, and also ARIMA. Let's begin from the abstract. The objective of this study is to investigate the relationship between discount on consumer goods and consumer behavior towards consumer purchase interest during the COVID-19 pandemic. The variables of this study are latent variables. They are discount, consumer behavior, and purchase interest, also their corresponding indicators. The population in the study was consumers who lived in Indonesia during the COVID-19 pandemic. We use structural equation modeling as a data analysis technique to investigate the direct effect of discount and behavior toward purchase interest. Based on the structural model, the results show that discount and consumer behavior have a significant relationship with consumer purchase interest during the COVID-19 pandemic. By studying the influence of discount and consumer behavior toward consumer purchase interest, we hope consumers can have a better understanding of discount and can help them to avoid impulsive buying. Now we begin from our introduction. Pandemic COVID-19 came as a rare event and had a huge impact on the world. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, predict that the world economy would experience a decline for up to 6% due to COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of business suffer heavy losses and are forced to close their business. To overcome losses, every business competes with each other by implementing marketing strategies to attract purchase interest from customers as much as possible to stabilize the sales curve. To attract consumer purchase interest, businesses must make the right marketing strategy to attract the buyers by giving a discount. The actual cases of applying discount can be seen from one of the well-known e-commerce platforms in Indonesia, where there were two cases, and these cases showcase the total purchases that occurred on two products. The first case we can see from Table 1, where Shop A that doesn't apply a discount has more sellers than Shop B that has a discount, even though both stores have the same duration of sales. In the second case, the Shop C didn't hold a discount had a fewer sales than Shop D that held a discount, even though the duration of sales was only 2 months apart. Based on the two cases above, we can see that there is a contradiction between the first case and the second cases, and we suspect that consumer behavior plays an important role in consumer purchasing decisions. Due to the existence of two contradictory cases, this study wants to find out whether the application of discount during the pandemic and consumer behavior affects the purchasing power of customers. To analyze the effect of discount and consumer behavior on consumer purchase interest, we use structural equation modeling. The reason why we choose this method because we use latent variables like discount, consumer behavior, and consumer purchase interest. Latent variable is a variable whose measurement cannot be measured directly and requires an indicator variable to define the latent variables. Figure below, we can see it is described the latent variable relationships that the discount and consumer behavior affect consumer purchase interest. And next, we divide our latent variables into two parts, endogenous and exogenous. Below, we can see our endogenous and exogenous variables. Each latent variable has their attributes, which are the indicators that define the latent variables. Consumer purchase interest is endogenous variable because purchase interest is an effect, and we want to see whether the exogenous variable like discount and consumer behavior can change the value of purchase interest. By collecting all the variables and their indicator that we need, we can construct a research hypothesis. The first hypothesis is discount has a significant positive influence toward consumer purchase interest, and the second hypothesis is consumer behavior has a significant positive influence toward consumer purchase interest. Based on the response obtained from the questionnaire to the research target sample, the general description of respondent based on age and status are as follows. There are three types of respondents. There are students, lecturers, and staff from Bina Nusantara University. The reason of selecting this sample because the sample is already represent Indonesian citizens. This is supported by the fact in this pandemic era, because there is no need for on-site classes, students didn't need to go to the campus, and students from the Binus University campus returned to their respective homes scattered throughout Indonesia. There are around 1,600 staff, 28,000 students, and 1,300 lecturers from the Bina Nusantara University. The total of our sample is 30,900, and we want to simplify it into 200. 200 respondents contains 108 students, 9 lecturers, and 11 staff. We can see based on respondents' age, there are 5 categories of age below: 18 years old, between 19 to 30, between 31 to 40, between 41 to 50, and above 50. But most of the respondents are between 19 to 30 years old with percentage of 18.3. The model has been previously tested using the structural equation modeling. However, while testing the fit of the measurement model, the model didn't meet the validity and reliability criteria. Therefore, a modular specification was carried out based on the results of the previous model fit test by minimizing the attribute of latent variable and remodeling the latent variable and its indicators. Let's begin from our first step of using structural equation modeling. The first step is model specification. We start to make a model specification based on a model specification we have made before. Specification is a stage to create a model of the relationship between latent variable with each other or latent variable with indicator variable. The study takes 3 latent variables where discount and consumer behavior are exogenous latent variable and purchase interests are endogenous latent variable. The indicator possessed by each latent variable after a specification. D2 luck felt by the consumer upon finding product with discount. D4 the amount of discount given. D6 consumer satisfaction with discount. CB2 consumer behavior that compares the quality level of a product before buying it. CB3, the behavior of consumer who buy a product depend on its benefit. CB4, depend on its need. PI1, a form of attention given to consumer in seeing a detail of the product. And also the last one, PI4, action taken by consumer to buy a product. After a model specification, we do a model identification. The model will be identified by looking at the degree of freedom value of the model created. In the study, the value of degree freedom was obtained is 17. As the degree of freedom is greater than 1, the identified model is over-identified. Therefore, The parameter in this model can be estimated from the observed data. Now we look to the model estimation. We can see that the magnitude of the influence between the discount variable and consumer behavior on purchasing interest are respectively 22% and 18.5%. Next, we create the testing fit for overall model. We can compare the estimate value of goodness of fit and their target to make a decision about the model. If the estimate value is greater than the target, therefore, the model is good fit. After finishing the testing fit, we start to test for measurement models. In measurement models, we measure the validity and reliability of a measured variable. Validity test aims to determine the accuracy of a variable to be measured. A variable can be said have a good validity if has a t-value that greater than 1.96. While the reliability test aims to measure the consistency of the measurement model. A variable is said to have a good reliability if the value of construct reliability is greater than 0.70 and variance extracted is greater than 0.50. And below is a formula to calculate construct reliability and variance extracted. The result of evaluation of variability and reliability show that all 8 indicators with 3 latent variables have passed the validity and reliability test. Next, we do a testing fit for structural model. The first hypothesis is discount has a significant positive influence toward consumer purchase interest, and the second hypothesis is consumer behavior has a significant positive influence toward consumer purchase interest. The table below shows that the t-value in the two latent variable exceeds its critical value, which is 1.96. Therefore, the hypotheses were accepted, and it showed that discount have a significant influence on purchase interest consumer behavior, also significant influence on purchase interest. And since both t-value from the exogenous variable is positive, like 2.77 and 8.97, it shows that both exogenous variables, discount and consumer, have a positive influence toward consumer purchase interest. Last but not least, the conclusion in these topics are: first, it has been proved that discount and consumer behavior significantly affected buying interest. The greater amount of discount and the more satisfaction consumer felt, the more likely consumers are going to purchase a product. To gauge the consumer by looking their behavior, the product quality needs to be great and must fit according to the consumer needs. And during the pandemic COVID-19, it is advised from customers to not make a purchase decision based on discount that was applied to the product, especially the amount of discount and the satisfaction felt, but make a purchase decision based on the product quality and benefit and the needs of product. Now we go to the appendix. The data is obtained from the outline questionnaire via Google Form. The answer is from scale 1 to 5. The higher value, the more agree the answer. And we put 14 questions as described below. Thank you, everyone. We hope our presentation today will be useful for you in the future. Thank you.